good evening, a good late evening, Facebook friends and lovelies. My name is Vanessa Louise and I wanted to share what's happened today. I'm just going to sit here for a little bit because I just would like some interaction. I'm actually sat in my dad's music room. I don't know if you can see it up here with all his guitars and stuff. And I did wonder whether the title, the way I was introducing my video, might actually get some attention. The power of making love and being brave enough to share it, or daring to share it. I'm in love. Do you underestimate how much I love you, and what is love? I tell you, do you ever have one of those days where you just know it's going to be the best day ever, 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 ever? Well, I know Sarah Cox does. A girlfriend of mine introduced me into how to introduce your day. I know it's going to be the best day ever, ever, ever. I woke up saying that to myself this morning. I didn't know quite why it was going to be the best day ever, ever, ever. But I just knew it would be. Today's been one of those days. It had to happen as a result of what's been going on for me over the last couple of days and weeks. A couple of weeks ago I said to myself, I am so fucking bored of my story. I want to write a new story. And by exclaiming that on my knees one afternoon, I invited somebody into my life and they have helped me do that. I've been working on myself and my transformation for, how old am I, 42 years, and it's all coming to fruition. And hi guys, I really appreciate you being here. My heart is absolutely thumping as I'm sharing, and I can't believe I'm going to be sharing all this vulnerable stuff with you right now. But how many of you have said to yourself that you're so bored with your story and that you want to create something new? How many of us have said, I wish I had their life. They look like they've got an interesting life. Well, I decided to act on mine, and I wasn't quite sure what my story would sound like and what it would look like. But one thing I was really sure on is that I knew in the very heart of it would be the essence of who I am, and that is love. So it kind of really all started on Monday. Well, actually last year, I made a present for somebody who was going through ovarian cancer and she was having chemotherapy. And I made her what I called a love book. And in this love book, I was really proud of it. I put my heart and soul into it. And I love quotes, pictures, hearts, all that kind of thing. And what I asked her to do was to delve into this book and focus on it when she was having her chemotherapy, because your mind, as I can only imagine, when you are strapped up to chemotherapy, can only really just run away with you, and how sad all this must be. And it would take an awful lot of focus to be able to keep your mind focused on the good in what was going on in your life. Now, I didn't get much of a response from my friend with this book, but I never lost sight of the power, because I learned so much in sharing that with her. On Monday evening, we had a success meeting here, and I told the girls that we would be making love. And there was a few eyebrows, especially from my dad as he was in the training. And we were a whole female team. And what we did is we made a love book. I know this sounds really trivial, but I do not want anyone to underestimate the power of love. How love can transform your life. Well, on Monday, we made a book, and I was making one for a very dear, very special person who is going through something really quite traumatic at the moment. Her name is Charlie Reese. She is a stunning example of brave. She's been diagnosed with tongue cancer, and please follow her story because she is documenting the whole thing. She's had a third of her tongue cut out, and she's had some nodes cut out in her neck. And I reached out to her a couple of weeks ago. I only met her twice, once in January, once in February, and we've been connecting on Facebook. And I reached out to her a couple of weeks ago, and I said I would really love to be able to be part of your journey, because I felt compelled with her job, her career being communication and expression, and she now had this cancer that was going to affect her work. She's such a stunning woman, inside and out, and she has been so courageous. And I suppose I selfishly wanted to be a part of that, but also I felt I had something of real value to offer. I bought a notebook with a Serenity Prayer on the front. It was just a beautiful notebook, lined notebook, and I printed off hearts and love quotes and just very simple pictures off the internet. I cut them out and I stuck them in the book. I also wrote out some of my favourite love quotes. And when I was finishing it off this morning, and I put these quotes in random in pages, leaving blank pages also for people that were going to come and see her over the next few days, weeks and months to write their love messages in this book. Because if there's anything I've learned over the last few years, is that there are two ways to live your life: in faith or in fear, in love or in fear. Anything that happens to you, whether you class it as good, bad or indifferent, there are two ways to view it: through eyes of fear or through eyes of love. Now, the easy option is to see it through eyes of fear. The difficult option and the trickier option is to see anything that's not going your way through eyes of love. So I made this book and I took it over to Charlie today. I wrote a message in it. I also took over a little pack of love hearts and a couple of other bits and pieces that I wanted to offer her. And I was so overflowing with love today after finishing this book that I remember messaging my mentor and just saying, I am absolutely busting with love today, that anybody getting in my way better watch out, because they're going to be blown away by the power of my love. And that was evident today. And I got all the way to the hospital about an hour or so late because I couldn't find it. And when I got there, she was there with another girlfriend that she'd met only 6 weeks ago who had gone through the same thing. So they were there supporting each other. And while Laura was massaging her feet, I gave her my bag of goodies. I had a colouring book and some crayons in there. And my Butterfly Whispers book. Just some things that I thought would help her keep her focus when things were either tough or getting struggling, or she just really wanted to take her mind off what was going on. And I was so blown away by her response. Charlie and I speak the same language, and I don't mean English. I mean the language of the heart. And for me, the language of the heart is a vibration. The language, thank you, Anya. I think you're amazing too, sweetheart. I really appreciate your comments. Language of the heart doesn't speak words. The language of the heart is a feeling. Now, I have been absolutely blown away with what has been going on in my physical body over the last couple of weeks, couple of days. It's been frightening me in a good way. It's been incredibly scary because I've got people in my life at the minute who are not prepared to be open. They are not brave enough to share how they truly feel about anything in their life, let alone the people in it. We're all faced with people that focus on the negative and the bad that are happening. And I see people dragging themselves around so flipping unwell and grumpy and blaming everything in their lives on either their work or their family members or other people. And I'm so incredibly passionate about asking people to view their lives through the eyes of love and not the eyes of fear. I also get people saying to me, I just don't know how to do this. How can you show me how to do this? I think the only way that I can show you how to do it is to be it myself. I knew that things in my life had to change. I knew I had to attract different people, different experiences and different opportunities into my life. And I just didn't know how to do it. So all I did was made a decision that I just wanted to see things differently. I really wanted to express myself through my highest value, which is love. Trusting, which is my second value. Trusting that, not knowing quite what my next step was, but if I can put one foot in front of the other and follow my heart and live life to the full in each moment. Now, I know this all sounds really cliche and we go, yeah, I've heard all this before. But somebody shared with me yesterday, a brilliant man I'm working with right now, letting go of the expected outcome and reaching and living from your highest joy. And where is that? It's all going to be different for other people. All I can say is it is a feeling. Don't think about it. Just, we all know there is a childlike innocence within each and every one of us. And this is what, for me, is with coming up on Monday, making this book. I had a colleague and a gorgeous friend today say that when we announced we were going to be making this love book, and everybody got really excited about the kind of sticking in the glue in, kind of spoke about the innocence of the child within us who enjoys doing that kind of thing. She said, I wasn't sure I needed any more of this self-love until you said the words. The words in these quotes, the words in the pictures that we are going to be sticking in our book. I want you to imagine that you are saying them to yourself. Too many of us, when we think of the word love, we think of romance, sex, kisses, dates, hugs, cuddles. We don't think of a little baby, my nephew, laughing at his mum booing at him as love. Often we don't make the connection. We don't see that the autumnal colours that we're surrounded by every single day at the moment as love. We don't see the tears of a girlfriend who is struggling, saying thank you for something as love. We don't often see. What is love? What is love to you? If you have any succinct way of telling me and expressing what you believe love to be, I would really love to share. I would love to hear what you think, because the vibration that love resonates at is so high that it heals absolutely everything. And somebody said to me today, Laurel Rond, the beautiful Laurel Rond, I had a singing lesson, and she said to me, the most powerful healers are the ones that can walk through a village you walk past them and you are healed by just being in their presence. The very essence of who we are is love. The very vibration that we are is love. So why are we so bloody goddamn scared to share it? Because of what people might say, how they might judge us. I practice self-love every day. Bless you, Libby. I know you do because you message me. Good for you. When I ask my clients to be sensibly selfish or sensibly self-centered and to put themselves first, I can get resistance. Yeah, but I'm a mother, or I have this, or I have that in my life. You are with yourselves 24 hours a day. You're the only one talking to yourself 24 hours a day. Be kind to yourself, love yourself, nurture yourself. It's that very essence. The way you express it is so liberating, because if you don't, it will be suppressed. And this is what brings on illness, depression, disease, and at worst, death. I know this sounds drastic, and I would love to know your comments. But sitting with Charlie today, and she's the one that's struggling with this alien in her body, well, not anymore, hopefully, is the very person that said to me, I've been given this for a reason. I want to do something with it. And it's so important to express yourself fully that I was just so excited to be in her space. And when I left her, I told her I loved her, and when I left her, I couldn't get to the car quick enough with holding back the tears. And I got in the car and I called my mentor, and I literally cried for about 10 minutes on the telephone because I felt completely cracked open. I was feeling something I hadn't felt before. Somebody even asked me a couple of months ago, have I ever been in love? And my answer was, do you know what? I don't think I have. And if I can feel anything like I have felt today, then no, I don't think I've ever been in love. I don't think I've ever fully been in love with it being a two-way thing. And feeling completely cracked open and vulnerable, and in a space of all I want to do is share the very essence of my being. I'm incredibly grateful for today, and I am so in love with my life right now. My heart is absolutely thumping as I share this with you now, and I just really wanted to document how I was feeling, and just really to ask the question, do you underestimate the power of love? Do you truly believe in the power of love and how it can transform and heal anything and everything in your life? It's only love that stops wars. In the words of Wonder Woman, she stops a war with love. It's the only power that resonates, that cancels out absolutely any negativity. It's the highest vibration possible. I want people to understand that they can heal anything through love. And one of the hardest things to do is to send love in response to hate. And I'm sure many of us have had the opportunity where we have had some sort of hatred, some sort of negativity coming at us. I ask you, rather than react to that, I'm asking you to send love back to that. And that's not to throw your arms around the person that's giving you a hard time. I'm asking you to have be in a free space where you consider the very next feeling that you are about to offer out. When someone's having a go at you and screaming in your face, it takes an awful lot of love to be able to transmute that into something positive. I'm asking you this week, in the next few days, have a look at your life and where you can focus your attention and see it through eyes of love. Any questions, thoughts and comments, I would be more than grateful to have you ask me, to have you offer up to me, so I can help you, please, vibrate at a higher level, and please offer out love in any way you possibly can. Because if you are going to feel an ounce of what I have felt today, and how I believe this is shifting my life and the lives of so many people that are choosing love over fear, I want to know how it's shifting your life. If you can feel an ounce of what I felt today, then you are going to feel incredible. I'm trying really hard not to get overexcited about how I feel right now. So I will be back sharing more on this, and I would really appreciate your comments. Lovers, whatever we make it. And from a beautiful young woman, they are very wise words. Thank you, Anya. And thank you for your comments, and thank you for joining me. I love all of you. Thank you.